Hello nerds! Thank you once again for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Week in Nerddom TV edition for the week of January 8th. This week we are talking about the Orville, we're talking XFiles news, we're talking Animaniacs is in the TV news. I'll tell you all of that and more after this intro sequence.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Let's just start with all the things and we'll go through all the things. The first thing that we're talking about is Channel Zero. For those of you that don't know, Channel Zero is a series on sci-fi that is pretty twisted. We just got a new trailer for the new season. This will be season 3. I'm a season behind, so no spoilers please in the comments, but season 1 was twisted. From my understanding of it too, this is an anthology series where each season is a standalone. So if you haven't saw season 1 or season 2, then don't worry about starting with season 3 because it's its own deal. But if you have seen season 2, then tell me in the comments, is it as good as season 1? Because season 1 was a little mind-bendingly twisted and really, really good. Really well executed. Definitely kept you guessing the whole time. Something that is not easy to do, especially in today's modern landscape of mediocrity, to be 100% honest. So yeah, February 7th is season 3 of Channel Zero, and keep your eyes peeled. Let's watch it together and let's talk about it in the comments. Next up, we have one of the breaking news stories. No, we don't do breaking news on Week in Nerddom. That would be... I can only do so much all by myself, and that is not one of the things that I could do all by myself. So, that being said, we are talking about the XFiles. Last year at New York Comic-Con, Gillian Anderson alluded to the fact that this was going to be her last season playing Scully, to which the internet went, "Aboo? No, we want our Scully. She's the best. I love Scully. Scully, come back." And then she told, I think it was TV Guide. Yes, she was talking to TV Guide in an interview that this, in fact, will be her final season playing Dana Scully. So get it out, guys. I know you got to let those tears flow. Season 11, episode 1. God, left so much. Apparently everything from season 10 was a dream, except for all the things that they want to keep, and those are the real things, but we don't know what those are yet. So man, just a whole lot of ow, my brain hurts when I was watching that last week. But yeah, so this is going to be, and then Chris Carter and all the production staff has said, if Gillian doesn't come back as Scully, then there is no more X-Files. So I would imagine they knew that going into filming this season, going into the creation of this season. So this will hopefully, package everything up and we'll get some sort of finalized sensation of finalness stuff. Yeah, anyway. Gillian Anderson's not coming back. That means no more X-Files after season 11. Episode 1 of this season was great. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Right now, episode 2 is playing while I'm recording this, and we're going to talk about that next week too. So yeah, we are definitely kicking on down the road. We are moving over to the Orville. Now, we talked about the Orville and how they have a weird scheduling thing going on, so we're only getting 12 episodes in this season, but the 13th episode is getting bumped over to episode 1 for the next season. That's already been covered. The bit that we're covering is next season is also only going to be 13 episodes, so 14 counting the last episode from this season, which will then technically be episode 1, and that's all kinds of confusing. But not only will it only be technically 14 episodes, it also will only be, will not be ready by the fall. So season 1 started in the fall, and we thought maybe we were going to get some come late winters into spring, the second half of the season, and that didn't happen. That was confirmed early on in the season. Now it looks like we're not even going to get to see it in this year. It's not going to be ready until spring, the second half of next season. Oh, because it's definitely very graphics. Definitely very special effects heavy. There's a lot of CG. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it costs a lot of money, and there's a lot of things to do. So that's... I mean, it is what it is. It sucks, but it's a good show, and you know, you don't want to rush greatness. The other thing we're talking about in Orville news is there is going to be a crossover, because Seth MacFarlane cannot help himself. There is going to be a crossover with the Family Guy. So Cleveland show had a crossover. There was a big Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland show event that happened a couple years back, and the Cleveland show got canceled. Maybe Family Guy's not the kiss of death. Maybe Cleveland show is just weak. American Dad also wasn't as strong. That's why it is no longer around. As far as I know, I haven't seen it in a long time, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to mash those two together, and I don't know if that's something we need. I could be definitely proven wrong, but I feel like that's not gonna be golden. Not nearly as golden as the Orville was for season 1 anyway. But again, I could be wrong. We're gonna kick on down the road. Next up is the Animaniacs. It's time for Animaniacs, and we pay for play contracts. Those guys. Robert Paulson, Tress MacNeille, Jess Harnell, those, getting ahead of myself. Animaniacs, which was once on Netflix, is now on Hulu, all the seasons, and they signed a deal with Hulu, so we're getting 2 new seasons of the Animaniacs, which is crazy. No confirmation that the original voice actors will return, but also no reason to think that they won't return. The new episodes will begin in 2020, so 2 years from now we will have new episodes, 2 seasons worth of new episodes, and again, no confirmation on this, but also no reason to think otherwise. It does seem that there's going to be 2 full seasons of the Animaniacs going to Hulu, so approximately 22 episodes for each season, which will be awesome. Assuming they go, instead of trying to ride the nostalgia, which there's going to be a nostalgia element regardless of what they do, so that's inescapable. But if they approach it from the standpoint that they approached it back in the 90s when it was still the new thing, if they approach it like that instead of like, hey, this is the thing that everybody loved back in the day, let's try and make exactly the same thing. Or if they do that instead of just continuing the awesomeness, it's not going to be as awesome. But we'll see in 2020, I guess. But that's pretty awesome news. Next, real quick note, 2 real quick notes, and this is what will finalize the TV episode for this week. 2 real quick notes. First is The Gifted, the wonderful X-Men show that is on Fox with Vampire Bill as one of the protagonists. It's actually focused around the kids, but anyway, Season 2 is confirmed. We will be getting a second season of The Gifted. It has performed well enough that it got picked up. I hope we get a little bit more expansion of the universe, and we get... I really dig something along the lines of The Walking Dead, in that we have a lot of characters that we're following through a couple of different plots rather than just one primary plot like we've been mostly getting with season 1. And then the last bit, again, is a real quick one, and this is going to be really polarizing for nerds, but young Sheldon, aka the spin-off from The Big Bang Theory, also got picked up for a second season. I have not seen any of this show. I really feel uncomfortable with the premise. I don't feel like it's going to be something worth writing home about. But that's not to say that it's not good. So if you've seen Young Sheldon and you like it, let me know why. If you don't like it, again, let me know why. We can have that discussion. I've made a video in the past about why I like The Big Bang Theory and why nerds take it too seriously. Why they feel like it's nerds as punchlines instead of a freaking sitcom, which makes fun of its subject matter by nature. That's what a sitcom is. Anyway, I don't need to go off on that tangent. That is the end of your TV edition for this week's Weekend Nerddom. Thank you very much, nerds, for staying to the end and joining this conversation with me. To get deeper into the conversation, definitely jump over to the website, www.generallynerdy.net. We can have all kinds of conversations over there. I post up a bunch of content up there, and all of the social media links are up there. And you've probably seen them floating around about here. You might even be seeing them floating around about here right now. That's all of the links and the things. The other important one that I need to tell you about is the Patreon. If you go over to patreon.com/generallynerdy, you can definitely help support the channel. Help me keep making this content. I don't have a day job. It sucks. I do photography and this. And actually, the photography feeds into this, especially when it comes to going to cons and such. So please jump over to the Patreon. You can sign on for just $1 a month. That is less than it takes to feed kids in Darfur or wherever they're starving in places. It's just $1. You have no idea how much $1 can do. Jump over, sign on for $1 a month. You get early access to all the videos, and the Weekend Nerddom videos are usually only early access for a day, but all of the Adventures in Photography videos, all of the interviews, everything else is at least 3 days early access. Some of them are 5 to 7 days early access. So that's what you get for $1. Imagine what you get for $2 and $5 and $10. That's all kinds of extra stuff going on over there. Definitely jump over there, help support the channel. But before you go, don't forget, you must always remember that if it is generally nerdy, baby, it's probably here.